Last week I went to Brisbane. In fact, not only Brisbane, from Brisbane I went took another flight to a place called Emerald, and from there I also travel in around Emerald places to find few properties, in fact to inspect few properties. So in this video I am going to share with you my experience of the travel and why it is so important if you want to purchase commercial property. Let's dive into it. All right, so what I did last week, it was a 2 days trip. So in the morning I took a flight. I live in Sydney. From Sydney I took a flight to Brisbane, and then onwards from Brisbane to Emerald. Emerald is from Brisbane, there's another 1 hour 10 minutes sort of flight, and it's in like another 500-600 kilometer inland, if you can think about. It is a mining town, and of course bit of an agriculture, and then some sort of a solar work that is also going on in that area, right? So when I actually went there, because we are buying a couple of properties for our clients, so one of the reason to go there to inspect those properties. And also there are few properties that we already bought there, so I have my own property there as well, so I went to inspect like a yearly inspection for that property. Okay, so here is my number one thing to do. If you want to buy a commercial property, whether you do it or your buyer's agent or someone else does it, you need to make sure that you inspect the property physically. Why it is so important? Because if you don't inspect, and then you will not have that feelings that whether this is the right property for you, irrespective of what type of property it is. Now in this case, this is like an industrial property. It's a big property, and we wanted to see where it is, how accessible it is, and more importantly, what is the building quality, the tenants, and all these things that we wanted to check. So my first point here is that you need to make sure that you understand, and you need to make sure that you go there and physically inspect, because if you don't inspect that, then you will not be able to get the nitty-gritty of that building, or you will not be able to get a nitty-gritty of how tenant operates. Now why this is so important? Because a lot of people, they try to buy property through online, seeing some photos, and then they just see numbers, and all of a sudden then they put offer and buy it. My suggestion is always going to be that one of the criteria is make sure that you physically inspect that property, because nothing can beat physical inspection. You will have that feeling, you will be able to understand that property much better than just buying in a computer screen. So that's the number one thing, right? The second thing is that you will get the experience of travel. Like as I went there in the morning, I took a flight from Sydney to Brisbane. From there, by the time I reached around 11:30 to Emerald, then I took a hired car and I drove down and I inspected. It's not a lot of work, but at the same time you need to put time and effort to do this. Now here is something, a lot of people would not even take a simple flight from Sydney to Brisbane and roam around and look for that property. You can do these things even on Saturdays. While you are working, you would be able to do, and it doesn't matter what type of properties you are buying. It will give you the experience, it will give you the travel experience, you will get a feeling of that property, and more importantly, you will come out of your comfort zone. That's my second point. You have to come out of your comfort zone in order to buy properties. And with commercial, you need to be extra careful that you are physically inspecting to know what is the quality, what is the tenant, how do they do business, and for that you have to go there and do this physical inspection. So the second point that I would say, that you need to have a comfortable feelings while you are traveling physically. In other words, like you are doing it, and if you cannot do, at least make sure you trust somebody who is doing it on your behalf. Do not just buy, or do not just rely on completely on a computer. Do not just rely on that, oh that's fine, everything is okay. And because those photos that have been taken by the selling agent, those are the best photos, they have taken in the best angle. So you need to make sure you go there and get the better feeling. All right, so now the next point that I would like to talk about in my experience when I went there is having a relationship with the selling agents. Now we are the buyer's agent, we act on behalf of our buyers, and that means that I would always have to have a relationship with those selling agents, because it's not only about this deal, it's about the future deals that we will be getting from them. And some of them we get as like an off-market deal because of this relationship. So in order to build relationship, I have to go and meet them, because it is very difficult to have that relationship just over phone. And if it is is very difficult to relationship, like distance relationship. But if you actually meet that person and understand what's happening in the market and ask questions, you will have a better understanding about that market. Now, as I said, that it's a long game. We are the buyers agents. We have been buying quite a few properties in that area. What it basically means that we need to build relationship with these different agents. And it's not only just one selling agents, you need to also build relationship in that area about 2 or 3 or 4 top agents and tell them that, look, we are buying these properties, we will be investing here. So if you have something which is coming off market deal, send it in our way. And that just simple thing that I am just explaining, right? If you want to do, you will get this off market deal, because off market deal doesn't just come from nowhere, right? It's the based on the relationship. You need to have the relationship, you need to have that access so that you get those deals. And it is of course difficult if you just want to buy one deal or 2 deals, but when it comes to buying multiple deals, then you need to have this kind of relationship. So once you go there, you build relationship, this can go a long way. Even some of the time you'll see that this year you build and you inspected and you went to meet that person, and then 6 months, 1 year down the line, you might buy a property, or even 2 years down the line. But that relationship matters. So for that, going to that place, talking to those people is an important part of your journey. Like, it's often if you buy one property, you go there, and often you find that the next door will be selling and you want to buy that to make a bigger land block. Often it is possible that another deal that is coming in and vendor wants to sell quickly, and you will get that as an off market deal. So this is in a nutshell I wanted to give you as an experience. Remember, nothing can beat physical inspection. Remember, nothing can beat the actual relationship by meeting those selling agents physically. And remember, nothing can beat the feeling, being there and be able to say, yeah, I have a gut feeling that this is going to be an investment for my next 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, whatever period of time that you are thinking. I hope you find these videos helpful in terms of a mindset shift, in terms of that why you need to inspect. And if you have any questions regarding that, and if you want to know more about any particular thing about that area, by all means drop us an email and also write in the comment section so that I can answer this. Thank you so much, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.